Today, I'm quitting my job. For years, I've worked my fingers to the bone editing other people's videos and getting nothing in return but a competitive salary, health insurance, and a 401k. Like, who even knows what that is? But for real, I'm 30 and should I be putting money into that? Well, none of that matters now because today I'm finding a new path, and Fortnite is going to help me do it. My homepage is filled with countless Tycoon Maps that boast about their mission to train you from the ranks of a lowly intern to the heights of CEO in just about any industry you could imagine. This is a goldmine of education at my fingertips, and as a proud college dropout, I'm not one to waste a free education. Today, we're playing through all these Tycoon Maps until I've amassed the skills needed to venture forth into a bright new career filled with opportunity. And it all starts now with Miner Tycoon, where I am prepared to learn the grueling, back-breaking work required to take on this age-old... what the f*** are these? They look like a Digimon had sex with a Mighty Bean and then forced their illegitimate children to work in the mines. I guess if I work hard enough though, I might be gifted one of these as a slave. I would prefer proper healthcare rather than free child slaves, but I'll try to be open-minded since the boss is menacingly watching over us. At least he's not sitting down on the job though, which shows he has a strong work ethic. After many hours in the mine, it's clear to me that the true sign of a good miner lies in their patience and diligent resource management skills. You must have patience because rocks are hard and you will not be provided the proper tools for the job. And your resource management skills have to be keen because you will be asked to determine the best way to allocate the stone you're mining into various upgrades for strength and efficiency using this Excel spreadsheet. Which does bring into question, am I eating the stone? Is that how I'm getting stronger? I would say this is a serious concern to bring up to HR, but seeing as I have to bring an automatic rifle to work every day just to safely do my job, I think I might be asking too much. So let's move on to Space Hub Tycoon. As they say, astronauts are like the miners of space. But at least here, we're not required to eat the rocks. In fact, we don't even have to touch the rocks if we don't feel like it. We can just play Space Hopper. In return for suffering through this repetitive and dull excuse for an arcade game, it will somehow deposit rocks directly into our pockets like we're at the world's worst Chuck E. Cheese. I wonder how many rocks it takes to buy one of those little parachute army men guys. When you're done playing that though, it's time to research how to open doors. A task which I wasn't aware that I lacked the knowledge to do, but who am I to question the complexity of space doors? Luckily, being an astronaut is about more than just arcade games and opening doors. Sometimes, it's also about shooting robots and dying to robots. I have some concerns about the health and safety practices at this job as well, if I'm being honest. I would prefer a career path that involves significantly less robots with knife arms. I was unaware NASA had to deal with those so often. Let's try for a safer job. Something with more people and less rocks maybe? Barber Tycoon should, in theory, fit that bill, but I do have my doubts. We of course start with the most important part of owning a barbershop, the chair. This is honestly all you need to convince people that you're a trustworthy hairstylist, and you will immediately start getting customers. I suggest starting simple with a complete shave. It's always a crowd pleaser. Just look at that tip. If they don't like that for some reason though, you can just keep removing and gluing back on hair until they're happy. After you've gotten a few customers, you should have earned enough money to finally purchase a floor, a roof, and most importantly, an automatic wig making machine. We're gonna fuck up a lot of people's hair. This is a necessary investment for sure. A few more clean shaves later, and I was finally able to afford an assistant barber. This was a massive improvement to my workflow because as the owner of this barbershop, I have more important things to do, like deciding the interior colors of the walls and murdering my competition. I originally didn't think this was going to be part of the job, but after I was presented with a full wall of high-powered weaponry, it seemed like a natural course of action. After all, how can I stay competitive with 3 other barbershops right next to me? I'm gonna eventually run out of customers and then I'll have to start offering haircuts to the zombies down the street, and they almost never leave me a $344 tip. Next up, we're taking a massive pay cut and diving into Fast Food Tycoon, where once again, I was very surprised to learn that the brick and mortar part of owning your own brick and mortar business is completely optional. We're here to build the best burgers, not the best walls. Really gotta get my priorities in order. And the order of those priorities, in case you were wondering, is a stove, 1 lone table, a deep fryer, and then trash cans. We'll be making burgers in no time, just you wait. But that, of course, will have to come after we deal with the army of sentient burgers that are terrorizing the neighborhood. This honestly feels like it should be a higher priority on everyone's list to deal with. We've let them survive long enough to develop a hierarchy led by this boss burger, and that just can't be good for any of us. But we finally have walls now at least, but we could only afford the 2D ones because we really need to start saving for this $1 billion bathroom. I can't wait to clean this shit off those fancy toilets. Speaking of shit, let's talk about football. Football Tycoon. And as new head coach of the Cleveland Hot Dogs, my first order of business is to build us a new field. Preferably one that didn't come pre-graffitied, but it did only cost $10, so really this is a steal. And we'll be making plenty of extra cash on the side by having our own football manufacturing plant just outside the stadium. Now, as a good head coach, I know the only way to earn the team's respect is to get on the field myself and kick a few slow motion field goals just to get us all warmed up. Speaking of the team, where might they be? I'm pretty sure football stadiums aren't a build it and they will come situation. This costs a lot of taxpayer money, and you don't want to see what football fans will do when they don't get to watch grown men give each other life-altering brain injuries. Maybe if I invest in these flashy helmets or commemorative football pets and dance out on the field, I can entertain fans long enough for the real team to arrive? I should probably go before they start rioting in the streets. And what better place to escape to than Farm Life 4? Here we can relax and take in the fresh country air as we attempt to manage a multi-acre farm entirely by ourselves. I kind of miss the mines now, actually. Those were simpler times. Oh wait, there's mining here too. Big mining really has their hands in everything, don't they? But of course, there's so much more to farm life than just mining. There's chickens to tend to, pigs to wrangle, and pits to mine. Oh, how did we get back to mining again? Let's talk about trucks. What do we know about trucks?
Gotta have one of these trucks. No question.
Without trucks, where would insecure white men sit while filming their racist and misogynistic TikTok videos? What would country artists sing about when they've run out of ideas? So, as a true country boy, you know we had to get our own. But, sadly, as the good book tells us in Leviticus 20:73, what thou mine from the earth, the Lord shall one day swallow whole. And thus, he tooketh back both of my trucks without much care for the impact that it would have on my insurance rates. I don't think farming is for me, guys. Surprisingly, the dancing pigs really don't make it worth it. Certainly, Sweet Cafe Tycoon will be actually relaxing. I don't really even have to bake. I have an automated machine that just pops out an infinite supply of cookies for these giant-headed screaming townsfolk. Yeah! We even have this magical portal that handles all of our online sales that I definitely have no further questions about. The city even built a subway station that takes folks directly to our cafe, and we've got this street marketer that helps bring in even more customers through what I can only assume is standing out on the street corner screaming, "Cookies! Buy our f***ing cookies!" All in all, working a cafe seems pretty normal. So I don't really know why we would even need a weapons board. Oh my god, what the hell are these? Why is there bipedal attacking my cafe? I was not prepared for this. Arguably, I don't know how I would be prepared for this. Nor was I prepared for the giant prawn boss that was lurking in the town square. I'm sorry, but if this is what comes with owning your own cafe, I have to nope so far out. And this really sucks because I had just implemented Mankini Mondays. Maybe I just need to work with less people and more animals. So let's try Zoo Tycoon, where we are almost immediately presented with more guns. I work in a zoo. What am I supposed to do with this? Is this to put Grandma out of her misery if she falls into the hippo exhibit? Or is it to take out the alligator when it inevitably escapes through this massive gap we've left in their enclosure? But somehow I'm honestly less concerned about the alligators getting loose and more concerned about these great eagles carrying my guests off to Mordor. At least I can put a proper barrier around the outside to keep any guests from reporting their injuries to the police, because this place is a lawsuit waiting to happen at this point. And apparently, I've got to work security too, because no one else is going to take care of this drunk mall Santa that's just strolling around and dropping sweaty dollar bills everywhere. So I guess I'm just gonna have to. Oh, he's a f***ing ghost. Oh, I was not expecting that. Oh, fuck. Okay, maybe I'm just hallucinating. That would explain the massive dragon. Honestly, I think this job search is really getting to me. I think it's time to recenter myself in Samurai Tycoon. Maybe the tranquil and honorable life of a samurai is really what I need. A career where I can become one with nature through 3D printing my own veggies and punching this bamboo until money falls out. But I'm not a real samurai until I've acquired my own panda and a 12-gauge shotgun. Now, I am truly ready. You see, the only real path to tranquility and prosperity is violence. I see this now. The signs have been everywhere. The time is now, and it begins here, with deception. A simple boop of friendship is all it takes for them to let down their guard. And then, we end them. Our mark has been made here today. People will fear us. When they see me and my tiny magic man walking down the streets, they'll know we mean business. Now it's time to refine my power in Killer Tycoon, where the local police are nice enough to drop us off directly at our new crime base. They know who's in charge, and like any good serial killer, our first task is to acquire a memorable mask before terrorizing the streets. Just look at all these people casually meandering away in fear. As expected though, the police did eventually have to take me in again, but we're on good terms, so they just left me this little button I can use whenever I want to leave. And now that we're back at it, it's time to ramp things up and hire ourselves a whole team of trained killers that, just gotta practice on some aim training courses first, then they'll be ready, for sure. We've also got a crack team of mobile killers that I guess just send really threatening Instagram messages to people. Look, I really don't think any of these guys are taking this murdering thing seriously. I mean, look at this guy. Does he look serious to you? I guess if I'm gonna get to the top, I need to do it on my own. In Criminal Tycoon. Naturally, the first step here is to just add forgery to our growing list of crimes and fire up some printers. But as a well-versed criminal knows, it's important to diversify your income. So we will also be robbing the local convenience store. After purchasing some firearms from Amazon Prime and disguising ourselves as Steve from Minecraft, we make quick work of our first run. I was in and out so quickly, no one even knew I was there. And you know I had to turn around and spend the money on a badass sedan so I could ride in style on my way to my biggest heist yet. That's right, I'm robbing a bank. They really brought the big guns to stop me, but as expected, I got out of there without a scratch. With my criminal background growing by the second, I finally realized what my true calling was. It had been staring me in the face this whole time. I was finally ready to become the President of the United States of America. And of course, my first order of business is to clear out the trash. With that taken care of, no one is left to stop me from hiring tiny men to play Fortnite in giant office chairs. A truly patriotic use of taxpayer dollars. So, what have we learned today, folks? We learned about patience, good customer service, honest labor, and the true American dream. So, I think I can confidently say that I really need to go get my job back. This is a terrible idea. I gotta go. Bye.